Hey everyone, it's Donna here from Donna's Creative Corner, and I just wanted to share with you a couple of altered books that I had made several years ago actually. In my crafting life I go through different phases, and these were from my altered book phase. I've gone through stained glass and mosaic and polymer clay phases and scrapbooking phases and card making phases. But this is from my altered book phase. The book actually was a book of famous women, and throughout the book I try to keep some of the pages, some of the elements from the original pages of the book and incorporate them into this book. This was actually my very first altered book, and I did it on everything that I like, and I named it My Pleasures. The spine of it was just covered with some like felt-like paper. This right here, I don't know if you can, let me see if I can zoom in, if you can tell what this is. This is actually dryer lint. Yep, dryer lint. And I just kind of put some glue and some water and squished it together, and then made a little collage element out of it and then painted it. You can use anything in your crafts, anything. I've seen lots of tutorials on different things you can do with dryer lint. This is just a bottle cap with some collage elements inside, a button, some more buttons. And the quote at the beginning, I am beginning to learn that it is the sweet, simple things in life which are the real ones after all. Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I thought that was very appropriate for my book on pleasures. This book is dedicated to all the things that give me pleasure. First page is pretty simple. I love sunsets. I can't go by a sunset and not stop and look at it. And it has a little pocket here with a quote about my love of sunsets. Just some beaded elements, collage, some mulberry paper, and then family and friends. These are just some metal tags. This is family. I covered up, this is a picture of me and my boyfriend. I covered that up. And then it just opens up a little envelope with hearts spilling out of it. And here's where I left a page, an element from the original book. It had a map on it, and I love to travel and explore new places and see new things. Life is, and this was actually a quote from elsewhere in the book that I cut out and put onto this page. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing, Helen Keller. Thought that was appropriate. And I stamped some of the places that I've been in my travels throughout my life. And then of course crafting is one of my pleasures. This is the very first cross stitch I ever did. It was it's actually a keychain. This is folded in half. And then I have kind of a waterfall page, a layered page here. You can see the different layers. And in each one I have little cutouts of different things. That's my messy craft table. This was during my, I don't know if you can see that. Oh no, the light's not good. I used to make vases covered with mulberry paper. My mosaic, I can't get it, my mosaic phase. I made a mosaic bird bath for my mother one year. My polymer clay phase. All different. My messy craft table again. And this is just a simple page. I love animals. I love nature. Animal Planet's one of my favorite channels on TV. This is just a cutout niche of with some of the found things from nature. that I've collected. Seahorse, a shell, some shark's teeth. My boyfriend and I dived for shark's teeth here in Florida. An acorn from the backyard. That was a thick page because of the niche. And of course my animals, my pets. And I've got pictures of some of the pets that I've had throughout my life. And these are just layered, folded pages in different shapes, different depths. These are some of the, these are some of the pets that I've had throughout my life. I still have this one. Yes, those are rats. I had rats as pets at one point. They actually make very good pets. One of my cats in the past. There's another one of my rats. My Siberian Husky. One of my cats I have now. And I have a few other, I have some empty spots in here. I have some other pets right now that I don't have in here that I need to get put in here. We have a new puppy in the house, so I need to get her picture put in here. My Lucy. On this page here, I just punched holes all the way around. I took a really long length of wire, a really thin wire, and just wrapped it through, and every time I wrapped around, put a little bead in there. Close up so you can see that a little better. You can see the beads are loose in there. And I love to cook, so this page is all about cooking. This is polymer clay tiles with stamped letters onto them and then painted. This one is my favorite recipe from my mother, her lamb stew. This is in her handwriting, so I'll always have that. And some other collaged favorite recipes in the background here, and some pictures of me and my mom in the kitchen cooking. And then this is just the same thing as with the wire. It's just punched and then wrapped with fibers. Comes through to this page as well. And I love to read and I love to learn. These are some pictures of the shelves in my craft room where I have all my crafting books. And then a little quote about reading. And then games. I love to play games. My parents come over every Sunday and we play cards. So I've got cards and Racco and Skip-Bo and Sudoku puzzles. And here I left in the background, you can see the printing from the original book. And at the very end, my happiness card, I list the 10 things that make me happy in life. So I really like the way this turned out. I have this displayed on my coffee table in my living room, and I look at it often to remind myself of all the things in life that give me pleasure. So that was the first altered book I ever did. Put that aside. This one, I'm just going to go through it quickly. This one I made for my parents' anniversary. I can't remember which one, but it was several years ago. And it was intended to be their life up until before I was born. Although there are a couple of pictures in here with me as a child, but for the most part it's them and their families as they were growing up. This lace on the front actually came off of a dress that I got at an estate sale. Of course, these are I can't think of the name of the game. Tiles, and a flower, and a doily, and the whole cover was crackle painted. I don't know what I did with this crackle paint, but I've never gotten it to come out this good since. The crackle came out really good on here, and I don't know what I did differently, but this turned out really good. And the lace wraps around to the inside on the front. This is the only picture I have of any of my great-grandparents. My mother's great-grandparents here, my grandfather there. So I thought that was fitting to start off with that. These pages here are just all the pages in here are just color washed and collaged, in the backgrounds, and the photos are kind of collaged into it. Along the edge here, I just punched some holes and wound some fibers through it. Same thing here, collaged elements, stamps. I used a lot of magazine cutouts for some of the words throughout the book. Same thing here. I love this picture here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It's my great aunt. Isn't that fantastic? Look at those hats. I love that picture. Same thing with my great aunt over here. I thought that was so cool. I love those pictures. I love vintage images. On this page, these pages, I used some cheesecloth. The picture's tucked underneath there. A jewelry piece. Lots of stamping, lots of color wash. My cat's getting ready to come say hello here. Go away, Asia. Move. Or say hi. Nope, she's not going to get in the shot. Nope, there she goes. Good girl. Here, the page was torn to make a pocket, and in the pocket was more pictures. Same thing on this side, torn for a pocket. And fibers hanging out. The pocket is actually held together with some brads along the edges here. Here, this is a jewelry piece, some more magazine cutouts for some of the words. And there's a little circle cutout on this page. So you can see a peek of the page behind it, and then when you flip it over, it now highlights the picture of my parents on the previous page. And this is a photograph of a picture frame that I put onto the page to act as a picture frame, and this is also a cutout. And then when you flip it over, you see the cutout of the vintage dress on this side, and it reveals the picture of my parents on this side. I love this paper. This is some specialty mulberry paper. I still have some of this somewhere in my stash. Love that. Love it. With some brads, big brads, and some buttons. Lots of color wash and stamping. Same thing here. It's a picture of my parents at the Copacabana. Just some pieces of mulberry paper and stamping and collage layers in the background. Oops, I gotta stay in frame here. Here's a swivel picture with another picture underneath it. And a little pocket over here with a picture of her dog, my mother and her dog. She traded in the dog for me when I was born. I love this page. This is made to look like water. It's bathing. It's titled Bathing Beauties. The pages are ripped across with some stickles across the top, kind of make it look like the ocean, like the water. And pictures of my parents at the beach when they were young. Look at that handsome man. Just pictures tucked in there. Another one up here. I like that page. And this is my parents' wedding photo. There's a frame around the outside. A Perfect Union, that was a cutout from a magazine. In the background is actually, this is my mother's handwriting, that was from the book, a piece of paper I found in one of her scrapbooks that showed all their wedding presents and who gave them to them, or what they gave them. So I guess she was using this to send a thank you cards, because there are checks next to everybody's name, and this is a copy of their wedding announcement. And then on this page there's a few little hidden things. This is actually my dad's graduation picture, and it's covered with vellum, and I cut out just to reveal him. And then up here, this is them at our cabin in the woods, and this is just a little, I cut the door open so you can see another picture of my dad under there. And then same thing over here. This is a photograph of a door at some place we had visited through the years. I took a picture, and that accessed the door, and you open it up and there's my mom in her fur coat. Not very PC these days, but it was all the rage then. And just a pretty piece of jewelry there. More collage. Collage elements around. This is my mother and all her siblings. Stamping and color wash on here. Here more stamping, color wash, mulberry paper, music note paper, and these were pages that I cut in to look like tags. It's just the pages cut to that shape, and then the holes punched all the way around, and the twine run through here with a couple of beads at the very top of each one. Magazine cutouts, stamps. On the back side is my mother, the front side is my dad. More collaged elements here, ribbon running through the page. I hope you can see this. Sorry if there's a glare, because I used some photo quality pictures there. These are a couple of pictures of my mom when she was younger. I put little crystals on for her earrings on both the pictures, and framed them with this pretty lace. This is just a jewelry piece here. More collage elements here. This is just a chipboard frame that I had cut out, and I collaged vintage papers all around it and then applied it to the page. And there are some eyelets here with the ribbon run through it to make it look like the ribbon is holding the frame onto the page. And almost to the back here. On this I framed my mother's picture by, there's like 3 different pages here. Each one is torn at a different circumference, and I inked the edges. I'm going to put a little bow in her hair, and if I'm not mistaken I colored this picture with chalk as well. And this was her at 16. And more collage of paper doily in the background here with some lace, and here are a couple of the pictures with me in it, right there, right there. And then on the very back, I think this was her first communion picture, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, some pretty bling. These are actually barrettes that I put on, some cutouts from lace, and a big niche in the back here. It's about 3/4 of an inch deep. Took quite a while to get it cut, but it was well worth it. In it I've got some treasures. This is just a real pretty jewelry piece, but this is the spoon that my mother used to feed me with when I was a baby. That's just a cameo from Michael's, and a gift from my great aunt. And then lace around the edge. And the very back is the same as the front. That lace runs all the way around the back as well. And throughout throughout the pages, interspersed in there, I ran fibers all the way along the length up through the top so that they would hang off the top. And there's some beads hanging from the fibers as well. But I gave this to them for their anniversary and they loved it. My mother cried when she got it. And was looking through the pages, and this is displayed on their coffee table at home as well, and she looks at it often. So I just thought I'd share with you a couple of my altered books. I have several others, but I don't have them here at the moment. I hope you can get some inspiration from it. Give it a try. Go to the thrift store, get a big book, and just play. I mean, you can't do anything wrong in an altered book. It's just whatever you feel like doing. And if it doesn't come out the way you like and you don't want to keep it, you just rip it out. You have to rip some pages out of it anyway just to make room for the bulk of it. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please leave a comment and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed. You have a great day and have a Merry Christmas, which is tomorrow. Bye-bye.